Hey guys, we're here to bring you another episode of the Gorilla KHODDcast, where we wrap up the events for August. Today on the show, we have Hate, Loot, and Ogre, and maybe later Kage if he wakes up in time. So, say hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Heyo.
And we also have a special guest, our first ever $50 patron at the Bruce Wayne level, Elimar 107.
Nice to meet you. It's an honor, guys. Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Okay, awesome.
Well,
So
thank you.
today, yeah, really. Okay, so today's topics, we have pretty much the typical Gorilla Godcast format where we wrap up the events for the month. But we'll have a little bit of special announcements concerning the show at the end of the show, and at the beginning of the show, we'll talk a little bit about our guest, Elimar. So we'll talk about Elimar first. Then after that, we'll talk about the August character's impact on the meta, the thoughts on the Booster Gold Siege, 2D-tron's topic for this month, and our thoughts on the August characters that were revealed. And then like I said before, we'll get around to the announcements for WROL broadcasts. Okay, so let's get right to the beginning with our guest, Elimar. So normally what we do with our guests, we normally like to ask them about their history with comics, DC, how'd you get into DCL, and why did you choose to support this ragtag band of podcasters? So first, tell us about your history with comics and DC.
Sorry guys, give me 1 second. All right, so when it comes to like comics, I don't know. It was probably like in my teens, high school. It's just it just came across it. More of a DC, of course. Real big fan of DC, and of course, probably like everybody else, Batman, dude. To me, he has probably the coolest backstory, probably the best villains, and to me, the best movie, of course, is Dark Knight. So, like I said, it's just something I've always been interested in. And then DCL, I don't know when I came across it, maybe 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago, but I was kind of on and off because it was kind of like I felt like it wasn't as big as it should be. But I never gave up. I kind of got into it more recently, probably like maybe the ending of last year. I got really into it. I think I started probably before. I don't know. Now this is where I gotta ask you guys. So did they ever do the siege? I think it's siege, right? Where you
Mm-hmm.
grind like kind of like PvP to gain the fragments for the characters. I don't know if I started during like I think Power. I don't know if Power Girl was the first one. Maybe I'm wrong.
Are you
Or
talking about the hero challenges?
Larfleeze.
Oh, the
No,
sieges?
not the hero challenges.
The first siege was Larfleeze.
Sieges. Yeah, you know how
Yeah, Larfleeze was the first.
Yeah.
Larfleeze. Yeah, so yeah, so I was pretty much there, and I think Larfleeze is still my favorite to this day when it comes because I think they gave us the
Mm-hmm.
most fragments out
Mm-hmm.
of that one. Now I feel like they kind of like nerfed it,
Mm-hmm.
so we won't get that many. So I guess because they want us to buy it, of course. But Larfleeze was my favorite one. I didn't even know what Larfleeze was until I saw how hard he hit, and I said, "Dude, Larfleeze is a beast." So I think to me he's the best green, even though you guys did say he's in A tier, so I did hurt my feelings, but still
No,
love him.
I'm with
Still
you.
love
He's
him.
S tier for me.
We
So
moved him up.
uh,
He went to S tier last go around. That was a
there you
failure on
go.
our part.
There you go. I think that well, with the whole Larfleeze thing about the siege, it was the very first siege, so they were being maybe overly generous. They didn't know where to set the bar yet. So at the same time, also that siege was 4 weeks instead of the 3 week sieges that we have now. It was the only one that was 4 weeks, I believe. So that's another reason why the rewards
Was
were
such a slog.
yeah, it was a very long siege, though. I mean, 4 weeks is the whole month almost, right? So, but yeah, no, I agree with you. Larfleeze is probably one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite green. So, but you're saying you were in terms of DC and comics, you're a fan of the Bat family. That's right.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. Everybody that's in the DCs, everybody's badass. But for some reason, to me, uh, when it comes, yeah, Batman's just his whole universe. It's like, dude, you can't go wrong. He does have the best arch nemesis, which is Joker. Like, hands down. There's no other villain. Like, I mean, what if you want to compare Lex to Joker? You can't. But
Uh,
personally, like, no, I don't know. Just like I said, Batman to me, coolest. And then right now, since they came out with the Dark Metal stories, I mean the Dark Knight Metals. I mean, like, come on, another universe where Batman becomes Green Lantern, but an evil version. He becomes the Flash. He becomes Doomsday. he becomes like what's a woman on this universe where he becomes a aqua woman, whatever you want to call it. Like, dude, like
Yeah.
Yeah, the metal series, that was great.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, dude, I don't think nobody can come close to that type of series at all. Nobody,
Mm.
only Batman.
I think that you have a lot of friends, or you're in good company in terms of the Bat Fam contingency, especially on the Redditverse. Joker is Joker. He, CP Joker OC. He's the probably the biggest proficient, or I guess the most what's the word here? The most learned in
Aficionado?
terms of the Bat Fam. Yeah, the most learned in terms of all the Bat Fam stuff, right? So
Yeah, like the
you're in good
Oracle.
company if you want to discuss things with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I met
Basically,
Joker.
yeah,
He's real.
he's basically Oracle, but he's more of the villain side of things, right? So I'm guessing you're more of a Batman fan yourself, in
Oh no,
particular.
like
Then,
like me personally, I go for both sides. Like, I mean, just like Red Hood, like when he like
Mhm.
Red Hood's also like my favorite. For some dude, like when I played
Mhm.
Dark Knight, his story, like I never knew who Red Hood was until I met his like I read his story and the way they portrayed it in the Dark Knight, the Arkham series and
Mhm.
Arkham Knight, it was pretty badass. And like, dude,
That's
like
cool.
literally, Red Hood is like a combination of Joker and Batman in one. So
Cool.
um, that's why to me it's pretty badass. That's why I was actually telling the guys like earlier this week. I'm like, imagine if they did the raids, and I was like, imagine if they put the Batman Who Laughs instead of Doomsday, they're gonna have every single different Batman villain as a raid boss.
Cool. So that is quite interesting. Well, we'll talk about that in the when we talk about the August characters, because basically you'll have a nice month coming up. But just a side note, when I was saying that Larfleeze was my favorite green character, M4 was calling me out. Soups DP, how could you? So I personally, well, I was saying that Larfleeze is my favorite green, and I'm sticking with that in terms of he's the most powerful green, the green that I use probably the most. But Superman is my favorite energy-based character, but he's my favorite DC character. So that's the reason why
That's the difference.
yeah. But the thing is, Superman is great in game, but he's not like a S tier. I would say Larfleeze is S tier hands down, and I use him all the time. Superman, he's maybe A B tier, and I use him infrequently. So, anyways, all right, great. So the last question was mainly about us. Why did you choose to support this ragtag band of podcasters?
Okay, well, honestly, I came across your channel probably like the
Hmm.
beginning of this year when I started security work, and I was real bored. Like
Okay.
I was playing DC Legends, and I'm like, man, where's a channel where I could learn more about this stuff? Because I'm over here like blind about it. So I don't know how I came across the channel. Maybe it was recommended, and I saw it, and I like how you guys were real chill, real funny. Like I would constantly repeat a video just to like make sure I got everything and just to laugh because it would make my nights easier because I would work nights and it taught me a lot. Like I was kind of like upset, like I said, because like I thought the bleeding characters were OP until y'all said that technically bleeding characters are useless if you got Hal Jordan as later.
What? What?
Well, that's, I mean, that's what you got. I don't know who it was.
I'm
But I
out.
have
I'm
to go
done.
back.
Can't do it.
But no, like me personally, if you told me to you what's the strong teams, bleeding characters. Bleeding characters are monsters. But like Hal Jordan, like the way they rework them, dude, it's crazy because I can't do anything until I get rid of the debuff immunity. That's why I kind of mainly use Red Hood as leader to steal everything. Cause I'm like, I gotta get rid of that debuff like today. But no, other than that, to me, bleeding characters are monsters. I love bleeding characters. That's why
All
I
right.
actually
Okay, you
bought
redeemed yourself.
You're a man of ogre's heart.
All
I
right.
actually
You and
bought
Ogre can be friends now.
I actually even bought the little purchase for Dr. Poison, even though
Oh yeah.
everybody was saying
Mm.
don't do it. I actually still
No,
did it
she's good.
because
She's good.
She's so
I've
good.
yes,
yeah. No, I mean,
I did it.
I'm not in the same camp as Ogre in terms of bleed characters, but in terms of special damage characters, she's one of the only really good special damage red characters, and she does a lot. So I think she's worth the investment personally. So
I think she's highly underrated.
cool. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, maybe she gets tuned in a different way, or maybe something will come up. Maybe somehow she'll interact with disease. Who knows? But
That would be nice, yeah.
yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, right. When you were talking about the informative stuff and learning through our videos, that's quite surprising. So I didn't know how much people could learn from our videos. My videos in particular, like I actually devoted a series to like teaching people stuff, which I am sorely lacking on making new content for. But I'm gonna get around to that more in the future, hopefully when I find time. But at the same time, you were saying, they're informative and funny. I can help you with the informative stuff, but not the funny stuff. I'm sorry. So, what else are we gonna get at? Anything else you guys want to say before we move on?
Nope. Thanks again
Anything?
for being the Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Honestly, before anything, honestly, I was debating whether to go to Ra's al Ghul or Bruce Wayne, and I was like, dude, I should go for Ra's. But then I'm like, dude, there's no Batman, there's no Bruce Wayne. Go for Bruce Wayne. So I said, let's see what
You
happens.
gotta change him up, DV.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I mean, okay, just to explain to people who are listening who don't really know too much about the Patreon tiers, I'm going to explain it a little bit. All the characters who are listed on the Patreon tiers, they're based on human characters or people who have in like personalities, and they're based on their economic status. So your very first level is your basic low level, Jimmy Olsen. Then you have an upgrade from a photographer to a full-fledged reporter and Clark Kent. Then you go from a reporter to someone who makes big Showtime money like Zatanna, right? And then you go from Zatanna to Lex Luthor, who's a millionaire or a billionaire or pretty rich. Let's put it that way. And we had a debate between me and Joker, who's richer, Lex Luthor or Bruce Wayne. There was a lot of like analysis that went into this. Apparently, Bruce Wayne, like if you break everything down, he's way, way, way richer than Lex, apparently. And then Roz is like, well, Roz has
You
been
can't
living for
really
how long?
calculate that.
Yeah, exactly. So Roz is the top, right? Roz is the top in terms of quote unquote wealth. So that's why
It's mostly
he's
due to
where
his
he is.
power, though.
Yeah, but
But
anyways,
aside, yeah.
for the representation of our Patreon tiers, what's the $100 tier? Well, I guess we might as well make it something that's like unreachable, which is like Ra's al Ghul, which is awkward because he's like the worst tune in the game.
Oh,
Question. I thought, hold on, this
Yep.
is just me. I thought, is his name Vandal Savage?
Vandal Savage, yeah.
yeah, he's pretty wealthy too.
Okay, yeah. 'cause
That's
I'm
the
like,
question.
guy's been living
That came up too.
forever.
I can change
He's
it to
also
Vandal
not in the
Savage.
game, though.
Yeah. I mean, technically, neither is Jimmy Olsen, but
That's not true.
well-
He's referenced.
oh, he is. Okay, well,
Yeah, because was it Soup's gear or Bizarro's? One of them has like Jimmy's
oh,
photo
yeah,
or
I
something.
think so. Yeah. You're right. I remember that he is referenced there somewhere. One of those two. You're right. Okay, well, whatever the case may be, just so you guys know that at the top tiers, at the $20 tier, the $50 tier, and $100 tier, which is Lex Luthor, Bruce Wayne, and Ra's al Ghul, $20 tier has 5 slots, $50 tier has 2 slots, and Ra's al Ghul is the only one. Like there can only be one Ra's al Ghul, so it's at the $100 slot. So right now, Elimar has taken the first Bruce Wayne slot. So there's one Bruce Wayne slot left, and I think 4 other top tier slots after that. So we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. We'll get on to the rest of the show, though. Let's talk about this month's characters, the August characters, Captain Atom, Booster Gold, and the reworks of Firestorm and Reverse Flash. So, hey, why don't you go first? Tell us what you think about the new characters.
The new character is Brewster Gold. He's pretty darn good. He's terrifying in this siege because he can one-shot most reds and he can one-shot every blue, just about. The only bad thing is when you're using him, you have a 50% chance, which for me that means 20% chance. But on the 50% chance version, the AI, of course, especially in Siege, he always does everything. So you have to count on the fact that he's going to get a turn and he's going to nuke a character. And right now, if you're competing against M4 to try to take World's Finest, which he's pulled ahead of me, it's horrifying to use any characters against him because you're so paranoid about him one-shotting your character. So, pretty solid character all the way around. I would definitely recommend gearing him at some point. The problem is next month is going to be all physical, so we that kind of gives you a lot of choices, so you might want to hold off a little bit. But overall, really good character, really strong. Has a good kit. I really like him. I just blanked out who the other new character was. Captain Atom. Captain Atom, I really like. I think he's going to be a lot better when more disease characters come out. Overall, he's not great, but I would say he's solid. He's a little squishy, but he can do the strength downs, intellect downs. I find that to be pretty useful. I don't like that his disease is on his 3 because it kills most characters that you're going to use it for. But if you use it on like a blue, you will get the disease going. But like I said, once more disease characters are there, you won't really care if that's disease, but that'll open the rest of his kit up. So overall, I think he's pretty good. The reworks, Reverse Flash, not a big difference between not a big difference between his old kit and his new kit, but he is better. I mean, he's stronger, he does more damage, but you're not going to see like a massive difference. And then Firestorm's kind of a disappointment. I don't really see any difference between before and now. His basic hit's a lot harder. Almost kind of sad they got rid of his shielding because you kind of, there's certain times where you don't want to cast an ability and you'd rather just give your team a bunch of shield. So I almost feel like the rework wasn't, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I doubt I'll ever use Firestorm again after the siege. So
all right. So that's a fair assessment. Let's go on to Loot. What do you think about these characters for this month?
I'll do the reworks first. So
Sure.
I'm going to agree with Hate Mail. I think Firestorm's probably the word I want to use is bad. He's just really not good. I use him in Siege because I need to, but he usually doesn't do anything. He doesn't really die right away, so I guess he's got that going for him. But he doesn't add anything to my team, and he really usually never kills anyone. So he's just kind of there. After Siege, he's going to sit the bench. Kind of wasted a lot of resources bringing him up, but whatever. Reverse Flash, I also don't think he's good. Does he hit a little harder? Maybe. I don't know. He's still pretty squishy. The only thing that he's got going for him is he can hit under the shield. So that's helpful. But other than that, he's really not great. And the fact that he can miss, that he doesn't have like a can't miss, kind of really messes his kit up because he's so fast that he like usually goes first or near the top of the go first list. And if there's any taunter or if there's anyone with evasions, it's kind of like a waste. So I was not into the reworks. I thought they were lazy. They need to really start thinking about how they do these reworks. And is it adding to the game? Is it doing nothing? Is it keeping it the same? Are they play testing it? They got to do something different. Granted, I guess not every character can get the Black Adam treatment, but it's got to be better than what they're doing now. This month was just a train wreck, in my opinion, for the reworks. It just did nothing for them. On the new tunes, I actually think both are good. Captain Atom, I didn't like when I first got him, but as I was using him throughout the month, I liked him more and more. If you can happen to get diseases on other characters and spread it, he's great. I think he's good. He's got a lot of cool attacks. He attacks twice. He goes under the shield. He goes under the awareness. It says in the description on Man-Bat that he's going to be a disease tune. So, I was reading that. That's pretty awesome. I think Captain Atom's going to be a real asset with Man-Bat. I think they're going to be quite a team because it seems that, based on his description, he's got razor sharp claws to shred his enemies and infect them with a contagious disease. So I'm going to have to think that the second disease tune is going to be more powerful than the first. It's kind of like their MO. They put one character out with like a new buff or debuff, and then like the next one is usually way better. So
it could be the opposite of what you're thinking, though. It could be like maybe maybe they're thinking disease is too strong and they want to tone it down. I don't know why they would think that with the first character though.
Somehow
that.
I don't think that's gonna happen, but
No.
who knows? I don't know. I'm optimistic that
All right.
Man-Bat's gonna be solid, which is only gonna make Captain Atom better.
Sure.
And
That's
Booster
fair.
Gold is probably the tune of the month. He hits hard. I don't love him, and I'm not as high on him as some of the other people in our alliance, but he's good. He hits pretty hard. He's good 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time, he's not good, because if he doesn't start with True Sight, it's a real problem, and you can't deal with the 0-turn taunter. You know, you're not going to be able to. And he also can't one-shot a lot of the blues. Surprisingly, he can one-shot an RB3 Alan Scott, which is pretty damn amazing. But he really has a tough time with Black Adam and Wonder Girl. So he's not like that. He's not like Lex, you know, where Lex can just basic you and you die, which is...
He needs to crit, or he's got to have those strength ups.
He's got to have it.
As an enemy, when you're facing him, always
it's every time, and good luck to you, because he'll kill your whole team.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, that's my take on it.
Fair enough. All right, Ogre, how do you feel about the new characters for this month now that you're back playing?
Haven't really played with the reworks. My Firestorm was R5. My Reverse Flash is L1. Neither of them really have anything on them aside from like Gear 4 where I put everybody at, just to kind of play with them a little bit, but I haven't really played with them at all. I've mostly been focusing on trying to farm Captain Atom. He seems really cool. Just reading his kit. I've only got him at like Gear 6 right now, so it's going to be a little while before I can get him up to par to use him, but I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Disease and what it might mean as far as potential reworks. I know we already mentioned Dr. Poison, but then you also have characters like Chemo, who could easily have Disease instead of Bleed. So I'm interested to see how these characters are going to mesh into the Bleed roster, and if we actually get any support for Bleed, or for Disease, rather. So I'm interested to see where all this goes with the new Disease mechanic, because the mechanic is really cool, and I really like the idea. So I'm hoping that it, does some stuff. Other than that, I really don't have a lot I can say right now about the characters, because I haven't really used them or don't have them. And Booster Gold, I decided to say screw the Siege, because it's too much of a headache that I don't need right now, as I'm just trying to basically ease myself back into regular PvP as it is.
Fair enough. Yeah, Well, actually, I would have done the opposite, because regular PvP, but Siege is actually...
Well, you got to remember, I started down at 900 trophies. Like,
that's fair.
I'm trying to work back up to where I can reset at 1500 just without trying again. Yeah. And if I can manage that, then I'll be okay.
Yeah, but even at the low level PvP, I guess that's a different story, because the teams that you're facing are different too. So
they're weird, yeah.
That can be more fun though. But anyways, so
pretty sure I've seen a Deathstroke on every board.
Ugh. Well, good to relive the good old days, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, at least I'm not seeing like Batgirl, Wonder Girl everywhere, so
I'll give it time. So
don't do that to
me. So Elimar, how do you feel about this month's characters?
Booster Gold and Captain Atom. Not gonna lie, everybody's hyped for a Booster, but personally, Captain Atom, dude, he's just the concept of Disease, like, actually got my interest, because bleeding character. So when I saw, I'm like, Disease, what the hell does Disease do? I said, dude, I have to have him. Booster, never been a big fan of Booster, so I wasn't really hyped about Booster at all. So it was just like, it's Booster. But I am, don't get me wrong though, I am grinding, trying to get like at least like almost over 200 fragments of his on the PvPs. So I am grinding, don't get me wrong, but like I said, I'll be alright. I think like Captain Atom, if anything, and like like you guys mentioned chemo. Yes, if anything, he should be a disease character. He doesn't even give the concept of bleeding. He doesn't even need it. If anything, give him the rework for disease, and then
Yeah.
like you guys said, man bat for sure. I mean, it's weird. How can a physical get disease? But okay. But yeah, if anything, I'm hyped, excited for man bat because I'm not a disease character. So hopefully, disease Reg Shop, the new meta, right?
Yeah.
So Kage is on and having can't figure out how to get sound or talk as happens
Yeah.
every single Gorilla KHODcast.
I tell him to get on
That's
earlier
funny.
so we can figure this out, but whatever. Kage, if you're on your computer, get off your computer and get on your phone. It'll just be easier. So apparently your computer is not set up correctly or something. And it's weird because he has the same mic as I do. So
Yeah.
Or I think he has a better mic than I do too. So whatever. Yeah, but whatever the case may be, if he can't hear us, tell him to just get off and get on his phone. In terms of my thoughts on this month's characters, pretty much echo everything that most of you guys said. I haven't actually played with Booster Gold yet because I'll wait to unlock him after the siege, which ends today. Captain Adam, I'm on the fence of like, is he going to be great when more disease works or disease characters comes out, or is he just going to sort of stay at this sort of awkward mediocre level? Like I took him straight to gear 11 because he's a special damage character and that's my wheelhouse. But I still feel that he's kind of awkward, especially with the disease on his third, having to nuke someone and then put disease on them. It feels awkward. Maybe that should have been on his AoE, but maybe that'd have been too good. I don't know. So
I have
basic.
something.
Yeah.
I have something actually that would be really cool. I wish that disease would apply before the damage, and then if the character died, it auto spread.
Yeah,
that'd be
cool.
nice.
Actually, that sounds cool. That makes sense too. It's like the body like disintegrates into a puff of smoke, which is contagious.
Congratulations, you just inhaled the spores.
Yeah.
I have a question. Sure. Just to clarify, right? If you hit Captain Atom, you get disease, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not all the time though. It's not guaranteed. I think, right?
But that's what I was getting to then. So what would happen if you had Terra on your team? Does Terra get disease?
What do you mean if Terra hits her? Or hits him?
Like you know how Terra, if you have her in your team for some, I don't know why they would give her this. She will like inflict damage on her team as well. So
that way.
Oh, you're talking about the meltdown?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so something about passives, they don't trigger other passives. You're talking about Terra's meltdown, I'm assuming, which is a passive, would not trigger his passive to give her the disease.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have to be an active move that's damaging him. So like either a 1, 2, or a 3 move, right?
Gotcha.
That you would have to click on to do something. And if it damages him, then there's a chance he gives you disease.
Gotcha. Okay, I was gonna say,
And-
that would suck.
That's exactly why, like, calling an assist wouldn't trigger a counterattack or something like that also. It's the same concept.
Okay, so it looks like Kage's back. Kage, you on your phone now?
Hooray!
Yeah, hey guys.
Yeah. So when you...
My apologies.
Next time, we're going to sort out your mic stuff. Because we can't let this keep going on for every podcast. Because you have a really good mic and a good computer setup for this to not... Like, you should... We have to sort this out. Because it's sort of
I'm not sure what happened. I just kind of woke up on my phone and it was like on fire. And so I decided to use my PC. And I don't know. Long story short, I'm here. I'm late. Hi, guys.
Okay. So I guess just real quick though, then Kage, what do you think about the August characters, Captain Adam, Booster Gold, and the reworks?
Captain Adam, he's gonna be underrated for now. He's gonna be very helpful later down. That's why I recommend to everyone to farm his shards and stagger gearing him. He's gonna be pretty good. You're gonna want him. Booster Gold, I don't have unlocked yet, so I can't really say, but I can say him getting a true sight on his own and killing my Wonder Girl in Siege was really annoying. So that was cool. I'd like to gear him, but with the September characters coming out, I'm not sure I'll have the resources to, but he seems like a fantastic red for people looking for a high damage red. And the reworks are kind of meh.
Yeah, fair enough. That's pretty much what everyone else said. So, all right. So we're just gonna save some time, move on. Let's talk about the booster siege. So why don't we start with our guest, Elimar? What did you think of the booster siege?
The booster siege. Not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna say I'm all the way at top 10 like Kage, because you know what's crazy? Funny story, real quick. So I was looking at because Kage has an alternate account, so I was like, okay, Talon is coming. Okay, that's Kage. And then I saw another
Hey,
Talon is coming.
let's skip that real quick and let's move on to the siege.
My bad. No, if anything, I mean it's decent. It's like I said, it's not LAR fleece, if anything. But it's cool. I mean, I can't complain. Just like I said, Wonder Girls, Power Girls, especially with that little booster pack that came for Power Girl for more fragments. I was just more annoying. So yeah, more Power Girls than anything. But it was like I said, just dealing with that.
Yeah.
But
We
nice,
talked about
nice
that.
siege.
Yeah, we talked about that last month when we knew what the siege was going to be like. It's like, ugh, Power Girl. But yeah. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? That's fair enough. Loot, what do you think about the booster siege? You having fun?
No, not at all. It's hell at the top. It's terrible. It's extremely difficult. The tunes are like all on crack and steroids, and I don't know what the hell is going on with the AI this month. This is the absolute hardest it's ever been. The tunes are not reacting like how you would think they would or that you're used to. They are all jacked up, and it is insane out there. Power Girl will just destroy it. She'll just kill your entire team, dude. She'll one-shot your blues, like your level 80, even rebirth blues, like ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
I had her.
I don't know what's going
two-shot my
on.
Black
I
Adam.
like that it's hard, but this is just, and there were no blues as bonus tunes. This was just so hard. I lost so many tunes. I lost so many fights. But then again, so did everybody else. So I guess it's not just hard for me.
Yeah. I mean, if it's hard, it has to be hard for everybody, right? So
Right.
So, all right. Hey, do you feel the same way that Loot does?
This siege has been the most rage-inducing siege of them all, but it's also been one of the most fun at the same times.
All right.
I really thought I had a great shot at World's Finest, and then M4 being the, devious. There's no one.
I believe the word you're looking for is consummate pro.
Yeah, he is the king. Well, Sheriff Lobo is the king of siege, but M4 is the sensei for a reason. And he decided, oh, this is a really hard siege. I'm having fun. Let me stay in it. So, but then, actually, there's no guarantee that if M4 had dropped out, because like another guy in our alliance, Danny Bass, he just, I don't know, he's been playing risky, and he's been crazy. Like, he's way up there. So, it's down to the wire. M4 looks like
Aren't they tied right now?
Yeah, they're tied. But I know M4 still got energy. I still got energy, and I think Danny still got energy. So it's going to be a photo finish, I think.
Wow.
And I think I have a shot because I know M4 messed up yesterday, and we'll see. It's going to come down to the wire. So.
It's coming down to who messes up and how much.
Yeah, I have one match, and I think it's going to decide my siege depending on how much energy, how much stuff M4 has banked. Because this one match is just giving me heart. I had two. One of them I was able to beat photo, but this one I need to use bonus tunes, I think, and it's oh gosh, it's just a scary match.
Alrighty.
But it's been fun. I'm looking forward to it. Also, I'll go ahead and bring this up now. Next month, as part of our final summer games, and we'll do an official announcement on this, we're going to do since the Owls, and not to brag on Owls, but just saying, Owls have always won Siege. So we want to see, there needs to be some more, because I know there's some very strong alliances out there, and we want to see if anybody can beat us. So we're going to sweeten the pot, and if anybody can beat an Owl, as long as an Owl doesn't win World Finest, and all Owls are excluded from this contest, if anyone can beat an Owl to take World Finest next month, we're going to do a $50 gift card, and anyone who can place in top 3 gets a $20 gift card.
Oh.
So,
wow.
So we're gonna
It's
step
on.
it up. So we're gonna.
You're playing cocky, Dove.
Wow.
So we're
okay.
gonna have a
That
lot
also,
of
that
we're
also
gonna
means
have a
they
lot
have to
of.
be they have to be listening to this podcast. They have to know that this
Well,
is
we'll do the Reddit announcement and everything, but if you're gonna announce it early, just so you know, next Siege, it's on, people.
This
Alrighty.
guy's crazy. What is he talking about?
All right. I mean, I guess while we're on that topic, I know that Ogre isn't playing Siege, so I guess the last person left to talk about Siege is Yukage. So, what's your thoughts on Siege?
Oh, I hate it. I am not having fun. I initially spent 10 grand just to place top 20. Then, I was always on the cusp of like 20. I was like 19, 20, 21. After spending 10K, I was like, man, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to spend any more money on this siege. And then come to find out, I'm barely, you know, I'm barely able to hang with the top 60. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You telling me I gotta spend more for a placement I usually
You're
get for
talking about
free?
gems, not actual money, right?
Yeah, gems.
No
Oh no, I would never spend 10 grand on a mobile game. That's crazy. Who would do that?
No comment.
The two people who have
Anyway.
renovations going on.
Yeah.
So,
But no, this like Power Girl, I've always said she was busted, but damn, they overtuned her in Siege. Like she'll just, wink at my characters and they'll die. And then where my Power Girl, she's like, she don't counter hit, she don't get her death immunity, she don't get anything.
she
So
just
it's
dies
kind of
quickly.
whack.
Now you know what it's a day of playing like hate mail.
Yeah, there's been
The hate mail
there's been
siege.
talks about demoting her to like A rank instead of S, but I don't know. I think she's gonna. We'll see. We'll see what
S,
we'll do with
S,
her.
S on defense, A on offense.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
To be
She might as
totally
well be an F
fair,
tier
in
character on
Siege,
offense.
she hasn't been A for me at all.
Yeah.
Like I'd maybe call her a B in Siege
Alright.
on offense. She never procs. Like you don't get any of those, like no heals, no death immunities, nothing. She's just like open season, big sign on her face, kill me.
Yeah, but
I must have went 8 turns with her just sitting at no life, no death immunity, and I'm just like praying nobody does an AoE, and then of course somebody does. But
Yep, she dies first always.
yeah, but the funny thing on Wraith, you use Power Girl and she's like, she's doing her thing. She's doing Power
Yeah.
Girl things for you on Wraith. So I think the dad's really jacked with the Siege RNG. I don't know. I'm seeing Facebook comments about this too. They're like, "Why is my Siege so bad? Why is my RNG so bad?
it's like red
I have no
alerts.
idea what's
They
going
do
on."
whatever they do
Yeah.
for red alerts.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll get onto those conspiracy theories next month if the difficulty seems to continue that way. So maybe they
Yeah.
did something when they patched the game with the most recent updates. But anyways, let's move on from there because the siege is going to end today anyway. So let's talk about 2D-tron's topic for this month. And Elimar, just so you know, now that you're at the Bruce Wayne level, you as well as 2D-tron and I think Charles L, who's also at the Lex Luthor level or higher, you get to suggest topics each month for the show. So if you want us to talk about something that you in particular, just let us know, and then at the end of the month we'll get to that topic. So 2D-tron's topic
One other
in
quick thing,
particular.
2D-tron wanted us to mention, he's updating his mega niche guide on Google Docs. So
Okay.
if anybody checks that out, it's in our show notes.
Cool. So yeah, tune in or look out for that. So 2D-tron's topics for this month are his character picks for underrated characters that are not really used in the meta are Enchantress and Harley Quinn Quite Vexing, so the Suicide Squad version. So let's talk about Enchantress first. Since I haven't been really talking about characters much, I'll talk about Enchantress. I really like Enchantress based on the way her kit works. I really like the overheal mechanic as it is, and she enables a lot of characters right out of the gate because you start with her as a leader, and characters like Bane start proccing unless you're hate mail. And she just opens up a lot of new strategies and it's fun. And she has AoEs and AoEs that proc off her healing and things like that. So yeah, I think her kit's real good. It's real interesting. And she used to be top tier. She used to be I would say maybe tier 1 or like the S tier at a point where it was basically, what was the team? Enchantress, Bane.
Swampy. It was right after the Swamp Thing rework.
Yes, it was Enchantress, Bane, Swamp Thing, and Red Robin.
Clayface.
No, Clayface. No, wait, no, Clayface.
Clayface and Starfire both made appearances, I think.
I can't remember the team. It was all based on Swamp Thing. Was Swamp Thing in there?
Yeah, it was Enchantress, Bane, and Swamp Thing were like always there, and then the fourth slot depended on whatever tank taunter they wanted.
No,
Right.
the Holy Trinity was Bane, Swamp Thing, and Clayface, and then people used Enchantress lead or Constantine lead. Or
there was
yeah.
Wonder Woman, Princess of Themyscira.
Or
was
that, yeah.
too.
It was the fourth leader was just always rotating.
Right.
But it was always.
But there was a point
three,
where
those three.
Yeah, there was a point where Enchantress was a big part of the meta because of the way she enabled so many kits. So I wouldn't be surprised if she made her way back based on more characters being overheal dependent, right? There are characters like Etrigan and so on, and Black Adam now.
Stripe just got added.
Right. So them being overhealed, that matters for them too. Etrigan not so much because he can start overhealed himself. So, but
he goes from 0 to full overheal anyway.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that this type of like the overheal matters mechanic is something that I would like for them to get back on. That'd be cool. Have more characters with that. So that would give Enchantress more value, right? In terms of Harley Quinn, quite vexing. I have her at Gear 10, but I don't really play with her. I know the Hate Mail does. So I'm going to turn it over to Hate to talk about that.
One quick thing on Enchantress. I could see her making, I mean, she's a good character all the way around, but I could see her making a little bit more of a comeback in the disease world because you can pass them back.
Yeah,
so that might be interesting.
That's right.
Yeah, she may have fallen out of popularity, but she's still really good.
I do like her with, like you were saying, Stripe. I've been when I was messing with Stripe a lot, I was using her, Black Lightning, Stripe, and Starfire, and that worked really well.
So that sounds pretty decent.
As for Harley Quinn, quite vexing. She's one of those characters that with just a slight rework, I think she could be amazing. My problem with her is that if she crits, she's just unbelievable. But you almost have to run Steppenwolf or Hardgun Deadshot with her to make her really viable. But I used to use her a lot, even with back in the day with B12 Brainiac, and I would use her as my Wonder Girl killer because she would go early, and then once she gets that crit and she starts stacking those strength ups, she can become a monster really fast. And I like that she has a call assist that can even be a double call assist. I've always liked that character a lot. One of those ones right now with the super tank meta, she's not as viable because you're seeing so many big Hal Jordan teams and she doesn't do quite enough damage, but you can slot her into a team. You can make her do the call assists. There's a lot of good things. She's a good character all the way around in my mind. She's one of those characters, she's right on the cusp. If they do one of those like slight reworks, I think she could become a character that you see her around all the time.
Cool. Sounds good. Loot, do you have anything to say or to echo about those two characters, Enchantress or Harley Quinn, quite vexing?
I want Harley Quinn to be reworked. If anything, she needs a stat boost, like for sure. She needs to get brought up to like today's level. I think that's one of the things that's holding her back. And her kit needs a little reworking. She needs to be. I don't know if she. I want to give everybody can't miss because I hate missing, but I don't know if she gets that, or maybe if she'll just get like hit chance up or something because
she may just gain evasion.
What's that?
She may just gain evasion instead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's helpful.
Like her.
That keeps her alive.
Yeah, I'd rather see something other than evasion, but.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if it would be evasion just because the other Harley Quinn's so evasion focused.
I actually think that Harley Quinn vexing would be really cool if her call assist was place a taunt and have that player assist the same way that Constantine has it. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. You're
right.
right.
Give her a stun so I can put her on my stun team.
Yeah.
I also have no idea what I would change on Enchantress. I think she's fine.
She just needs a stat boost too. She's like one of those characters.
Give her a little more life. That's all I would like.
Yeah, she needs health. She needs like just a big HP boost.
Every character needs more HP.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially with the characters out there like some of the reworks, their HP is just absurd. Like, look at Ares. I mean, it's cool that I'm using him as just an example because he's got the most health in the game. But he's got, like, as leader, what is it, like 96,000 health?
Does he have the most?
Yeah, he does.
I haven't looked at him since his rework, so I'm not really sure. I know that previously Donna Troy had the most base, and I thought Katana had the most, but now I guess Ares has the most. So
Well, I don't know about regular.
Katana only
but
has a
as
lot when she's leader.
As a leader, it's the most.
Yeah. I mean, okay, well, I mean, it's not a huge difference between those two characters, but well, let's get back onto the topic of Enchantress and Harley Quinn, though. Kage, do you use either of these characters, or have you used either of these characters?
I have at one point in my gaming history. I really liked Enchantress. No, I mean, I liked Enchantress when she came out. She was really cool. I think the only rework she could benefit from is like if her leadership were more consistent. So you're looking at a random HP boost to everyone instead of like a standard percentage. That's why everyone's got a crush on Hal Jordan right now. So if you were made to make that really consistent, like everyone gets 10% overheal at the start and then some, you should see a lot more play.
they didn't start doing that until Power
I don't know.
Girl,
I
though.
think her kit's really fine. She's just kind of inconsistent, but that's about it. Quite vexing, Harley. I've always liked. She doesn't see a lot of meta play just because she might just be too slow, or I'm really not sure what it is. Maybe the silence on her kit. I really don't know, but she's fun. She's really I don't think she's ever gonna be a meta level red. But she's easy to play, and she hits hard. Calls assists. She's
Fair
great.
Fair enough. Elimar, do you have anything to add about these characters? Have you played with them?
Haven't played with Harley Quinn. Quite vexing. I saw her kit. Wasn't really like excited for her. But Enchantress, yes, dude. Her over here is insane. And like you guys mentioned, like Bane would be like a good character to have her in the team. So just characters that pretty much excel on overheal would pretty much be a monster team.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, it's pretty much what everyone's saying. I mean, I think Ogre, you also played around with Enchantress. You feel the same way?
Yeah. Enchantress is one of the characters that I did mess around with, got her to Gear 9, and to this day is still the most fun I've ever had recording a video was her as a leader for the Swamp Thing rework video that I did. Most fun I have ever had with any characters, any combination of characters. It was Enchantress, Bane, Swamp Thing, and I think Starfire came along a little bit later. So I messed with like Poison Ivy and a couple others. But yeah, I laughed so long and so hard watching all the attacks that just started going off constantly, and I was dying in that video. If you haven't watched it, look it up. It is hilarious to just watch me be stupid. But yeah, Enchantress, I think Enchantress and Quite Vexing are both, I think, on that god level in PvE. Are they ever going to be meta characters in PvP again? I don't know. But they are both in the god level on PvE, if you set up their teams correctly. So, I mean, I don't know, like, I know mostly everybody cares about PvP, but I'm more about the PvE, and I like to have fun. Both of their teams that they kind of represent are very fun.
Cool. All right. So I guess we'll wrap up that section there. We'll go on to the September characters, which I think people like Elimar and Batman fans are waiting for us to talk about. So the September characters were announced. We got Talia al Ghul, Man-Bat as new characters, and the reworks being Killer Croc and Deadshot Hired Gun. So, Elimar, I guess since you're the Batman fan, why don't you go first?
Honestly, on Deadshot Hired Gun, hopefully they don't ruin them. Hopefully.
Yeah.
It's not Hired Gun. It's Suicide Squad Deadshot.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so actually I put the wrong one. So it's Suicide Squad.
Okay. Yeah, I was like looking at it. Okay, wrong one. No,
yeah, my notes are wrong.
They gotta make that Deadshot OP just like Hired Gun. Hopefully, but then again, a guy can dream. Talia, I mean, it's Talia. Come on, you can't go wrong with Talia. They have to make her OP. I'm super excited for Man Bat. Like you guys pretty much already said it. It's got to be a disease character, if anything. Killer Croc, I don't have him geared up or even a legendary, so hopefully they make him a monster too. I do like Killer Croc, like this concept, but I feel like he could be better. He's not up there on the tier list. But if you could buy one, I'd probably buy Man Bat for sure. Man Bat all day. And then maybe Talia, maybe. But
Cool.
yeah, I'm super excited.
Awesome. I guess, Hate, what do you think about the new characters?
I'm more excited than most. I've always wanted Suicide Squad Deadshot to be very good, and he's not going to need a lot, so they've always been giving these characters a pretty decent stat boost, and if that AoE rips and roars and does a lot of damage, then we got our blue killer, because I know people like Joker are like, oh, I want blues, but while count-wise there's much less blues, the blues that are there are pretty dominant. I mean, we see on almost every team, Wonder Girl and Black Adam. You see Donna Troy all the time. So I'm ready for them to shift out a little bit. I want you to be afraid to bring Wonder Girl, afraid to bring Black Adam, and I think this month might do it. So between those two characters, I loved Killer Croc, especially the first Siege. I thought he was really underrated, underappreciated. And granted, I don't use him a ton, but he's another character. He's not going to take a lot, with a few slight boosts. Maybe they increase the percent that he does whenever people are taunting, things like that. He could be a scary character. So with the right rework, I think both these characters can be really good. I'm really excited for Man Bat. I like the character. For some reason in the comics and the lore, he's a character that's always kind of interesting to me. But the mechanic I'm more excited about. If he's a heavy disease character, if he's like I really, really hope they do him like a disease Black Manta, and then he will be awesome.
Oh yeah,
because sure. I think disease can be scary and cool. And then Talia, I like the way the character looks.
That's what everyone's saying.
They did a good job with the art, so she could be cool. Pretty excited for her too. We'll see what they do with her kit, but all in all, it's a month I'm pretty boost for, actually.
Fair enough. Kage, what do you think about these characters?
Never used Killer Croc, but I've always feared him. So I think he's gonna be pretty OD if he once he gets reworked. Suicide Squad Deadshot, not too much experience with. He just seemed like a one-trick pony, but we'll see if they give him a cool trick this time. And I've always wanted Talia in the game, so I'm glad she's here. So we'll see if I decide to pick her up. That's about it.
Fair enough. Loot, what do you feel about the Bat Fams?
I don't know. I like the artwork on both. I think they both look cool. We'll see what happens when the kits are released, but I'm pretty excited for the disease tune. I hope they make him like Mr. Disease, but then again in Siege, he's probably going to be really scary.
I'm imagining like Mr. Clean, like that's like dying or something.
Mr. Disease gives you dirt and grime and grit in just a minute.
Yep. Just give me that disease. Just pretend I'm Kage. Just give me the
out
disease,
baby. Oh, I can't believe you went there.
Right. Okay.
I guess we'll turn it over to the laughing ogre. What do you think of these characters?
I'm a big fan, kind of like Hate Mail of Man Bat. Like, I'm excited for him. I want to see him do some work, and I think he touched on a good point. If he's Black Mana with disease, he's going to be great, fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. Something just as a note, though, I do want to point out, I know it's a little weird to be talking about this now, but Captain Atom only applies 2 disease.
Yeah,
if they live.
Yeah,
if they live.
It's
Like,
really small.
why
It's
are the
extremely
devs
small.
why are the devs so scared to apply a large
Yeah.
stack of bleed or disease
They don't want
when
to nerf him, right? I think
any
that's the other
buff, any buff, oh, have 10, that's fine.
thing.
And it's like, really? Come on. More than
Yeah.
one would be nice. More than two would be nice.
They really didn't want to pull the trigger on him, but yeah.
They were very conservative with disease, I guess. I don't know, for whatever reason. They were scared.
I
it
mean,
was gonna
that's
be too much.
exactly how bleed started out. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
look at Chemo. He's 1 or 2. That's all you're gonna get. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Well,
I really hope that eventually Chemo gets the rework like Bizarro and can apply like 9. That'd be great.
Well, I hope they do with Chemo. He does bleed and disease,
that
so
would
he
be
could be.
cool.
kind of
I'm
the
really
bridge.
I'm really hoping
Yeah.
that he does.
He
Yeah,
would be a double enabler, right? Yeah. I could see that. That would make sense.
he would be the linchpin in so many teams at that point.
Yeah.
And he's a tank, right? So that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if Camo like you guys said, bleed and disease. Imagine like if you hit 10 bleeds, it becomes a disease.
Oh, that'd be cool. I would.
If they just
yeah,
switched
that would be
into
awesome.
disease, that would be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what if
I
he
would
worked
also
like
think-
what if he worked like Black Manta, where when they have a bleed, it ticks and then it turns into a disease. Instead of turning
Oh,
a mend into a
that'd be
bleed,
nasty.
it just turned bleed into disease.
Bleed
Right.
becomes super bleed, and super bleed goes everywhere.
So good. Give me
Right.
Camo. Sorry, I'm sidetracking. No, I'm excited for next month. Yeah, like we'll see what happens.
Cool.
I was gonna say this month was made for Ogre. It seems like.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm hoping so.
They heard that he came back, so they had to start getting the wheels in motion, right?
I don't know how they would have heard I came back before I came back, so because they would have had to have been working on this for a while. Maybe they were
Oh, the
trying to
golden
entice
child's
me back.
Yeah, the golden
Maybe they were
child.
trying to entice me back.
Alrighty. Let's wrap things up with the last bit of the show where we're talking about the announcements that we have concerning the show itself and what's in the pipeline. So thanks to several new patrons and Elimar being a very huge part of that at the $50 level, the Bruce Wayne level. We have now surpassed not one, but 2 new goals. So we've surpassed our $75 and our $100 goal on Patreon. And I'm still working on finding clips to make into ringtones. And someone keeps telling me that they'll send me the one that I think M4 found with where it was.
M4 found it, and I'm supposed to. Yeah, I know.
Right. We're supposed to. Someone send me that. I'm gonna clip that, and then we'll have 2 or 3 at that point. I need to make about a handful of them and send them out to our patrons. So really, any of you guys listening, if you think that there was a funny scene or a funny thing that someone said in some podcast, please send it our way, and then I'll make it into a ringtone. I swear.
Or tell us where you heard it, in which
Yeah.
episode, or if you
That has been
timestamps would be even
unlocked.
more helpful.
Yeah, that
So
has
we can
been
clip it
unlocked
off.
for the ringtone element thing has been unlocked for about at least 3 or 4 months, and I still haven't been,
Failed.
gotten around to it. So I
Wow.
have to make good on that because
So-
that's I can't sleep well at night.
So before December, we're gonna get these out to you, right?
Let's hope so. I'm trying not to make promises right now.
I mean that's
When
fair.
do-
We all have lives,
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but anyway,
What's our thing that required for the next tier then?
So let me get into that. So the ringtone stuff is stuff that I think will easily be able to get done as long as we can find the right clips and the right things. So hope that's why I'm trying to crowdsource this to help for people to tell me what they think is funny or interesting to put into a ringtone. Then the next thing, we at the $75 level, we unlocked the merchandising. So we are going to be making WROL broadcast merchandise like T-shirts, hats, mugs, stickers, what have you, right? The standard fare. We are looking into making it first on Cafe Press, which is I think what Hate Mail has set up, but we hit a snag, some copyright issue things. We might have to talk to WB about that. If we can't get that sorted out, we might look for another source. But hopefully, my timeline for that is by the end of September. Hopefully, we'll have that set up for you guys to go and contribute, buy a T-shirt or buy something that you think that you would use that to show off WRL stuff and help support the show. The next thing and talking about the merchandising stuff, we will have new art coming soon too. I'm in talks with my art guy about getting a new covers, well, a new addition to our art because Loot is now official member of the team. And should we tell who your character is going to be, or should it be a surprise, Loot?
Go for it.
So our character for Loot will be Harley Quinn. His favorite character in game apparently is Harley Quinn, and when he asked for the art direction for this, my art guy asked me which one, and he said the sluttiest version. That was his answer.
Nice.
2D-Tron made a
Hell
good
yeah.
point too for the art, like especially for T-shirts. He said subtle merch when it's not obvious it's a nerd thing. So
Yeah.
kind of have our little logo in like a little tiny corner with a funny little phrase that people may not get. I think would be good.
Yeah.
So we got to
OMG STHU.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that was the other thing I was going to talk about. So, for you guys out there who are thinking about merchandise that maybe we're not so creative and we can't think of on our own, that you think that this would be cool on a T-shirt or on a mug or something, let us know. Either through the chat, through Discord, through Reddit, or wherever you hear this. Let us know that this would be a really good idea for merchandise, right? Something like, for example, Ogre's classic "Oh my God, shut the hell up" on a mug or something, or Doom's famous "Etrigan isn't even that good" on a T-shirt. So something like that, right? So with Loot being reworked into our art, we're being added into our artwork, and our artwork being reworked, that'll be all over the place on our social media stuff, on YouTube and on SoundCloud, etc. And probably we might want to wait for that to start the merchandising stuff. We might also have the classic art stuff up there too. So we might even go as far as putting up very, very old stuff for those of you guys who are in the know, all you veterans out there who know about the Oddsmen and We Are Our Legends. We might have that stuff up there too. So who knows? Then the next goal that we surpassed, again thanks to Elimar, who got us over the $100 hump. So the $100 goal was starting regular streaming. So this is actually a really big one.
Man. Yes.
So
man.
And people
Yes.
people have been requesting that for a long time. So.
Now, what I had
Wait.
I used to.
Wait.
Yeah.
Do
What?
people really want to see someone stream a mobile game?
Yes, man. It's
These
like,
things exist, dude. People stream
Yes,
mobile games all the time.
Well,
Man,
like
that's
when I came
crazy.
across the channel, I would get pissed because I'm like, wow, one episode a week, like, damn. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need more. I need more. So yeah, dude, that's
we
why
need to feel that we need to feel that addiction, right? So,
Yes,
so,
it's a
right.
drug.
So
See Sweet Exorcist, same thing.
So whatever our current plan is right now. So originally, what was written on the goal was Twitch. So with what's been happening in the news, in the gaming news, Twitch might still be on the table. It might not be on the table because of how lucrative or not so lucrative it might be. Another place we might want to take this to is either YouTube, where we're already set up, or Mixer, which is basically where, well, if you're going to take Ninja away from Twitch, let's follow Ninja, right? So that's the logical sort of flow.
Yeah, we experimented with YouTube. The lag issues were horrendous because when most of us are on iOS, and transferring it over is very difficult. YouTube works fantastic for Android, but since this game does not allow you to cross-platform, which really sucks, or I'd just get an Android device and do it.
Yeah.
But Twitch seems to work a lot better for that, so we're going to experiment with some things.
Basically, I think other than Ogre, everyone else is an iOS user on the team, right? So
yes.
that's why
I believe so.
Yeah. So basically, what we're going to have to figure out for this is, because iOS users, there's no good way of doing this. You have to cast your device to your computer and then have whatever's being it casted to, that window being recorded by OBS or something like that. And that's why Twitch is set up for that to work well. But it still takes a lot of setup. And
well, I found Arcade Omelet. Seems like there's an app for iOS for.
Okay.
It is. I haven't tested it yet, but I've read up on it, and it seems like it works really well. I have some major home projects that have kind of eaten up my weekend time, but I'm gonna get on that soon too.
All right. I mean, on the whole topic of streaming, the current plan is right now is after we get the merchandising set up, because that's first, right? Hopefully we'll get the streaming stuff set up by the end of October at the latest. And I'm going to try and put that out there and stick to that promise. I don't want it to stay too long because this is
The
actually
merchandising shouldn't be too hard because we do have the merchandising portal already
Right.
created. We just got to work around the copyright issues. If we have to take the DC Legends art out of it and then just do like phrases with a little logo or something, we'll make that work. That shouldn't be too bad.
Right. So right now at the $100 level, it says we're going to be streaming once a week. So what we're going to do is because there's so many members of the team, this shouldn't be so hard. One of us will take 1 day a week, and that way we'll have every week covered. So I think even if there's 5 weeks in the month, we should have somebody. We have over 5 people in the team, so it should be easy to do. I figure out.
Well, once we figure out an easy way to do it, I mean, I'm happy to stream all the time. So.
Yeah.
5 weeks in a month.
Oh yeah, like if it's something that people want, I'll start streaming again like twice a week or something if they really want it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you guys helping us fund the Patreon and helping us to keep this project alive is part of the reason why we want to give you more and bring back more for you guys too, right? So we need, with the funding there, we're able to put time aside to do this for you guys. So we really appreciate that. So again, we talked about the timeline already, and in terms of the streaming too, if the KHODcast also coincides with streaming, if it works out well with streaming as well, the KHODcast itself might also be something with stream. So
yeah, I was thinking we need to. That I want to start like next month. Just if we could have the game streaming in the background at the same time, that'd be great.
You mean someone's playing while we're talking?
Yeah, because I mean, I could sit there and run through the new characters when we're talking about 2D Tron's peeps, and then now Elimar's peeps.
I'm really curious if the viewers want to see our faces while we stream, or if they just want to see us playing the game.
I was gonna think about that. I was gonna use
maybe
some of that
Kage's
sweet
face
Patreon money to get me a webcam. So okay,
No,
we'll talk
DP,
about that.
I stream from my phone, so.
All right. Well, anyways, what were we going to talk about? We talked about the stream.
Are we at questions?
Merchandising. Oh, we don't have questions. So, I mean, we kind of like wrapped that up for now. So we're good.
Well, we had a
now.
couple of questions in the chat, so I don't know if we wanted to.
Did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're running a bit long. We're like 10 minutes over. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We'll keep it for later. Sorry, you guys. Last thing I mentioned, so a little bit of a, I guess not so private, but some people already know. I've always lived in Japan for the whole time we've been doing WRL stuff, and even before with the Oddsman stuff. Basically, when I started playing DCL, and I'll be moving back to Canada very soon in the near future. So within the next month or two. So September, October, I'll be back on the Eastern time zone in Toronto, in my hometown. So that being said, things will probably be easier for timing and scheduling because I am not on the opposite side of the world compared to everyone else. But things will be slightly hectic for me because moving back after living in Japan for 12 years is not going to be an easy transition. So,
which side of Canada are you going to be in, DP? The east or west?
East. You're same time zone
Oh
as you.
wow,
So,
man!
Toronto.
Look at that. That's going to make life so much better.
And I'm
No,
still
that's
stuck
what I'm saying.
by myself.
Yeah, we'll just make you get up early.
But there's a reason why you're there. You're a spy for WB, right? So
Actually, that'd be a lot better
that's
for
fair.
you, Ogre, because now we could do evenings, which would be
Well,
yeah,
it's so much easier, yeah.
Yeah.
Because before, evenings for me was almost a no, kind of like my afternoon. So okay, but yeah, things will be easier on timing, just awkward for the next couple of months because it's going to be hard for me to settle back in right away. So just putting that out there, and hopefully like I can stick to the schedules and the timing that we talked about now that I've said it out loud, and I kind of have to do it. So but again, crowdsourcing to you guys about the ringtone stuff. If you guys find any clips or remember any bits, please let us know. Even if you don't know which podcast it's from, just let us know and we can look for it too. If you can help find it, that would be even better.
If you at least know the topic, we can try to figure it out.
Right. Sure. And then the rest of it, well, what was the other thing about the merchandising stuff? If you have any good ideas for merchandising that we haven't really started thinking about yet, let us know and we'll make it into a product if we can, if it's within our means. Okay. So, anything else before we wrap up the show, guys? Anybody?
One thing I want to mention is the second Summer Games contest that we have out for you to do a basically a roast of any of us members for. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a roast. It could just be some funny comment, and whatever you want, really. But we've only had one entry so far, which is 2D Trons. So if you don't want him to automatically win first place, do some submissions.
Right. So, and remember, you don't actually have to be a patron to view it. Just because our patrons are the ones who are submitting this stuff, you can, even if you're listening and you're not already a patron, you're just a listener, just a fan, you can still submit. It's all good. So there you go.
Yeah, this is a contest. So first place wins $20 gift card, and if I still have socks left over, and then second place gets a $10 gift card to iOS or Android. So make sure you get those out there.
Out yet? Did you figure that out yet or no?
Well, I'm sorry.
Did you
The first one?
hand out the for the
Yeah, I
first
got
one,
it.
games,
I got addresses. Everything's in the mail, so we're good to go.
Cool. Awesome. Alrighty, so let's wrap up the show then. Shout outs to Elimar 107 at the Bruce Wayne level, 2D Tron, and Charles L, who recently upgraded to the Lex Luthor level. Charles, you are also now eligible for the topic suggestion, and you also have not been on Discord, I think, yet, or you haven't messaged me yet. So please get in touch with me, and I'll set you up on Discord with your roles and your privileges and your perks and all that stuff. Right.
And that's
so,
Juicy Fries from
Really?
Courthouse. Yeah.
Charles L is, oh, that makes sense. He's from Hong Kong originally, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, just tell Fries if he wants to get in on that, he can. Then what's the other thing? Right. So special shout out to our newest patrons, Jose A, our newest Jimmy Olsen level patron, and Commander Armaden recently upgraded from Jimmy Olsen to the Clark Kent level. So thanks, you guys. A reminder for all of you who aren't already on Discord. There's a few of you, I think maybe at least a handful or more. If you're not already on Discord, or you are but you haven't messaged me, please message me. I'll get you set up with your roles and your perks, because I think my Discord bot is broken or something, so I have to do it manually. And then right, so if you guys want to be heroes like these guys and help us keep the lights on, consider supporting us over on patreon.com/WROL broadcast. And with that, anything else you guys want to say before we finish the show?
Nope. Thanks, guys. We appreciate all your support, and we hope to have all this stuff up and rolling soon.
Okay. All right.
Good to be back.
We'll say, yeah, good to have you back. All right. Thanks, Elimar, for being on the show. And
anytime, guys. I'm on it.
See you later,
Thanks,
guys.
Elimar.
See you guys later.
Hey everyone, it's 2D Tron. Thank you for listening to WROL Broadcasts. If you like the show, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/WROL Broadcasts. You know I'm going to play this back and forth because I need DP's smooth daddy voice to sing me to sleep. See you later, guys.